Arsonists target children's charity shop. College damaged in suspected arson attack. And Uriah's rock revival. Good afternoon. Arsonists have set fire to a charity shop which raises money to help sick and dying children. Workers there have condemned the people who did it as mindless thugs.
Badly damaged by smoke and fire. This is all that remains of goods at the Acorn Children's Hospice shop at Cradley Heath. The stock, worth thousands of pounds, would have been sold and the money used to help dying and sick children. It will now have to be thrown away, and it's angered charity workers.
And it set us back thousands and thousands of pounds worth of stock, because the stock that was due to go out into the shop, which is now upstairs all burned, was donated goods by the good people of Cradley Heath.
What do you think about the people who do this?
What I think about the people that have done this is unrepeatable. If they could only think the damage they're doing, they're not hurting us, they're hurting the children that we make money for to help.
The charity has 20 shops like this throughout the region. Recently, there's been a series of break-ins and valuable stock's been stolen. Officials say this latest attack has hit morale, but volunteers are defiant. They say they'll carry on. They have to for the sake of the children.
2 members of a gang who tried to intimidate witnesses at a murder trial have each been jailed for 10 years. Worcester Crown Court was told they virtually severed the hands of a man drinking at the Plough pub in Rubery. The victim was also attacked with knives and a golf club. Ronald Clark of Newtown in Birmingham and James McDade from Frankley were convicted of grievous bodily harm. There have been another 4 attacks on elderly people during robberies at their homes in Coventry. It brings the total of attacks to 11 in the past 2 days. Victims are giving a similar description of the attacker, but police say more than one man may be involved. Police have renewed their appeal to old people to be on their guard. A college has been severely damaged in a suspected arson attack. 8 rooms were destroyed, but firefighters were praised for saving thousands of pounds worth of equipment and months of students' work.
The fire started in the Media Studies block at Sandwell College's Knowles site in Wednesbury early this morning. The building was badly damaged and arson is suspected.
The construction of it with the anti-vandal roof meant that the fire had nowhere to escape, so it was spreading along the roof space and the roof timbers, and could have spread to the whole of the building had it not been stopped.
The fire service have been absolutely marvellous because they saved a great deal of expensive equipment, television cameras and sound equipment, and it's also very likely that most of the students' work has in fact been saved, so we're very pleased about that.
Police are investigating what caused the fire. Students have been told to not come in for a week.
Firefighters were called out after 7 separate fires broke out on the Long Mynd in Shropshire. Land Rovers, specially adapted for fighting moorland fires, were used to prevent the blaze spreading in the strong winds.
We're treating it as suspicious, obviously, because you don't get 7 seats of fire occurring simultaneously.
The fire damaged about 10 acres of moorland, which is owned and managed by the National Trust.
Any fire is serious because it means the loss of very precious heathland, which, as you know, much heathland has been lost since the war, so any more that's lost, and this is a site of special scientific interest. It's not just that the threat to wildlife in the nesting season is great, but also the threat to the sheep and the lambs and the loss of grazing is important.
Up to 11 women may sue a hospital where they were treated by a doctor who died after he was diagnosed as HIV positive. Dr. Olukayode Fasawi worked at the Royal Shrewsbury Hospital. Some women treated there say they suffered psychiatric shock after being told of his condition. Police believe a man responsible for a string of bank robberies may have struck again. The man, who's in his 50s and wears a cloth cap, has been filmed in raids throughout the Midlands. Police are now linking him to a raid at a bank in Stafford. Parents have been accused of failing to control their children after a crime wave in South Warwickshire. A new report says too many adults don't know where their children are at night.
Castle Hill Bridge is often lined with tourists enjoying a view of Warwick Castle that famously inspired Canaletto, but not just now, because vandals have pushed a long section of balustrade into the Avon. It's just another statistic in a crime wave police say is sweeping the town and neighbouring Leamington and Kenilworth. A new report, prepared jointly by the police, youth leaders and Warwick District Council, blames parents for failing to control their children.
My advice to parents would be, don't throw your hands up in the air. There is help out there, but you can't expect, once they step out of your door, the law enforcement agencies and people in general to do the job that you should be doing.
The report also highlights a lack of youth clubs and says those that do exist are poorly advertised.
In some areas throughout the district there are no facilities for young people, and what we need is some responsible adults to come forward to actually help to supervise young people in worthwhile and legitimate activities.
Juvenile crime usually increases in the spring and summer. As well as making arrests, the police say they'll be giving official warnings to troublemakers and writing to their parents.
Now, for most of us, the sight and sound of the dentist drill is enough to keep us out of the surgery. But it seems the traditional treatment may soon be a thing of the past. Dentists at a conference at the National Exhibition Centre are heralding a revolution which could banish the drill and syringe in favour of less stressful alternatives. Finally, this lunchtime, a rock group named after a Charles Dickens character is writing a new chapter in its history. Uriah Heep was formed nearly 30 years ago, but the band has been more popular abroad in recent years.
When Uriah Heep last played the UK, their fans came from all over the country for this one-off special staged for Central. The rock band was formed 27 years ago. Only 2 of the original lineup still remain. During the last 5 years, they've been playing abroad. 43 countries, netting album sales of over 30 million. Gigs in Britain have been non-existent, until now, when it came to Dudley. Lead guitarist Mick Fox was one of the founder members, naming the band after the character Uriah Heep in Dickens's David Copperfield. At nearly 50, isn't he a bit old for touring?
No, you're never too old to rock and roll, mate, never.
So how would you describe your music?
It's melodic rock with a hard edge to it and sometimes a very soft edge to it, but it encompasses a lot of styles.
Uriah Heep was a rather creepish man. Is that your band?
No, we're not creepish at all. We just thought it was a great name. It was a double-barreled name that looked good in print, so we took it.
Dudley's concert was a sellout. This ageless band are due to perform in Stoke tonight.
That's all for now. We'll have more news in our next bulletin at 3:25. But from the Central Newsroom, have a good afternoon.
Central Weather, sponsored by Stay Bright Windows. The clear choice in any weather.
Hello there. Well, it's time to get your lawn cut. You won't be able to do it tomorrow. It's going to be wet, and there's a novelty. It's getting breezy out there, the precursor to a front that's making its way down from the north. We'll see more of that as the day progresses. But the main weather on its way is the one we're going to be welcoming with open arms. It's the front well out to the west of Ireland. We won't see the rain from that until tomorrow, but we'll see the cloud pushing across later on. So it's cloud increasing from all directions really this afternoon. The thickest across the top of the region. The cloud that's coming in from the west is more broken, so the bottom slice of the region will still see some bright spells through today. It's mostly dry in spite of any cloud and mild with highs of 15 or 16 Celsius. It'll be tonight when the cloud really starts to thicken up from the west, the breeze increasing as it does so, with the first spots of rain getting into Shropshire by about dawn, and then any early bright spells are going to be nudged out of the way as all of this cloud and then the rain pushes across. The first lot of rain coming through will be light and sporadic, all of us seeing that around lunchtime, with the main band of rain following through during the afternoon. It is going to be mild tomorrow, but a little bit wet for us, but it's the rain we've been waiting ages and ages for, so I hope you will welcome it with open arms. That's all from me for now. I'll have the updates for you after the main news this evening. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.